What comes to mind when you hear about the word love or unpacking love? So today on Relationship Clinic, I, Dr. Sally, I'm here to just bring to you how to navigate or how to go through your relationship or your marriage as you unpack love, especially tomorrow being Valentine's Day. And this morning I'm joined by an amazing couple, a beautiful couple who'll be introducing themselves in a short while. But remember also to be on our socials and just talk to us if you want to be part of this conversation on 20316, which is our SMS line, and 0786 316 316 is our WhatsApp line, where you can send in your questions, comments, or even compliments to the beautiful couple that I'll be hosting. And also this morning we'll be having a question, so stay right there because we'll be having some beautiful gift hampers to give away for you to celebrate your Valentine's tomorrow. Let's get into the conversation, or rather let's get into the show today, and I'd want you to just introduce yourselves, and I'll start with the lady, of course. Yvonne, introduce yourself.
Thank you very much. My name is Yvonne Mabinda. I'm in ICT. I'm a wife to Mr. Mabinda. I'm a mom of 3 and I love God.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes.
Godian.
When she talks, I get confused. What is the question again? Anyway,
that's the impact of the love.
My name is Godian Mabinda. I'm a child of God, born again by the Spirit of Christ. I'm a husband to this amazing lady here. She's a woman, a husband to one woman. I'm a father of 3, and what I do, I'm a data protection expert.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you remember when you were talking the first time, I was like, hey, familia was so me.
Size your glasses.
Okay, that's awesome. Karibuni sana, and I'm really, really glad to have you here.
Thank you.
That help us just get into and unpack love, just to understand how the two of you have been doing it or have done it this far. And I'll start with you, Yvonne. How long have you been married?
We've been married for 11 years. This is going to be our 12th come August. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. How has it been like?
It's been amazing. I can say it's been amazing. It's been a great journey. Of course, with ups and downs and normal challenges that come in, but it's a ride that I wouldn't trade for anything. Yes.
And just before we continue this conversation, I think I had mentioned to my viewers and listeners, wherever they are, that we'll be having a gift hampers. But the question will be, there has to be a question for you to win, something. A contest is here. And the question is, how do you celebrate your Valentine with your loved one? And what does Valentine mean to you? What does Valentine Day mean to you? And how do you celebrate it with your loved one? It's a question that even, the two of you will be able to answer this morning,
Are we winning?
I'll think the way the show will go will determine. So, it could be, yeah. Okay, so, Godian, what are some of the things probably that on a daily, you look at your wife and you're like, wow, I thank God for this lady on a daily.
She's tolerated me for 11 years.
Oh wow!
I think we say that as a joke, but it's actually true. Because if you look at ourselves as human beings, we are frail, we are broken, we are faulty, we've come with baggage. And for someone to make that decision to stay with you for that long, she has some strength in her spine. So I look at her every day with everything that we've been through. I'm really difficult to be around. In fact, I think God made it possible for us to be with her because she's the only person who can handle me and understand me.
Wow.
So if I look at it like that, that to me is bigger than what she does daily. I make my meals. Of course, I love her food. If she stops cooking for us, we go mandamano. But the fact that she, by God's grace, has stuck with me for 11 years, I'm not an easy person to be around, but she has the grace to handle me. I think that's big for me.
Okay. I love what you're saying, because as Christians, and you've just said it from the beginning, you love God, and Christ is your personal savior. And here you are also saying and admitting that I'm not also easy, meaning you're only human. And that's encouraging, I'm sure, to other people out there, whether Christians or not, whether saved or not. How does that make you feel when he talks about you like that?
It feels good. good. And he just doesn't talk about me like that. He shows that to me as well. I don't feel like being with him, I mean, the validation that I get from him, the love that he shows without even saying, makes me feel amazing. It's not that he only says, he also does a lot.
Okay. All right. And what are some of the things that he does that make you feel very loved and understood as a lady?
A lot. I'd say a lot. First of all, his humor. He's very, very funny. I grew up in a house where we joke a lot from my dad, my siblings. So it was jovial. So coming to meet someone who kept that going is a lot for me, because even when we're in the house, we crack jokes a lot. And also when he touches me, you know, for humans, for some reason, we love touch. You know, when he's passing by and he rubs my shoulder, or when he's passing by and he gives me a back hug, you feel some sort of safety, some love. Like when he just holds your hand, touches you just around the house, just the small rubs the back of your head, and all those things. And also how he's very present. He's present emotionally. He'd tell if I'm having a bad and tired evening, even without me saying. So he's very aware. He's very aware around me.
I also undo her hair. It's a task.
He does. He does.
I dread those moments.
He does.
Where we have to
I don't know. I just trust him with undoing my hair most of the time.
She'll show up at 10:30 at night with toothpicks. I'm like, oh God, I'm done.
When you see the toothpicks, you know it's not about eating.
No, we are done eating. 10:30.
He says you should have said that.
Like tungeanza Saturday. So.
And I love that. I mean, you in this time and age, you can do that. Oh wow.
No, but I suffer.
Meanwhile, you suffer in the process.
Anyway.
In a good way.
And then after the toothpicks, kumbe alikuwa ameficha mafuta ya nywele hapo nyuma. So
so it's the whole package. Comes with the whole package of the salon. Fantastic.
But it's great because we spend time together at that. Namwambia mali kuna dandruff, nafaa kuosha.
We watch a movie while doing it.
Do you have sisters?
Yes, I have sisters.
I think uko expert on that. Unajua hiyo mambo. Atimbaka, you know the dandruff, blah, blah, blah. And I love that because it's not about those gender roles. Like, I can't do this, I can't cook, I can't do my wife's hair, stuff like that. I really admire that. And, you know, keep it up.
Yes.
Yvonne here, umesko. Now, Godian, I'm just wondering, you know, love means different things to different people. What does love mean to you as Godian?
It's interesting. There's one man of God. It's called Pastor Vodi Bokam. I love listening to and reading his material. Prior to that, I had this converted in the definition of love, but I came to pick what he said, and I think it makes sense to me and it applies to me. He said that love is an act of the will. You know, you decide to love someone. It is not an emotion. It's not an event. It is not that I was struck by the arrow of Dr. Love. It doesn't happen like that. You decide that this person I'm going to love. So love is an act of the will, accompanied by emotion. So emotions should not be the foundation of love. It is the act of the will that should be the foundation, because there are times in a relationship where the emotions will fizzle, but the will has to be there to keep going. So an act of the will that is accompanied by emotions. So emotions will come, but they will not supersede the will, because there's those times where you'll have an emotion of anger, emotions of happiness and joy, and sadness, and fury. Sometimes you get really furious, and then which leads to an action on behalf of the subject. So the act of the will, led by the will, accompanied by emotion, which leads to an action. So whatever you do for them, undoing the hair, watching a movie, then she sleep at the 5th minute, then tell you to rewind, all that, the action you take that is built on that is actually what shows that you love. So love is an act of the will, accompanied by emotion, that leads to an action towards the subject. And it's easy, the entire phrase looks big, but if you look at it, they are so intertwined that you will not even notice that they're coexisting together. But the most important thing is not to build a relationship on the foundations of emotion.
Okay.
Because emotions are fickle. That's why we have so many. You'll hear people say, I no longer love him. It's just that the emotion has gone down.
Yeah.
But if you have to even leave, it means then the will is not there to stay. Yeah. So the daily decisions you make to stay with this person, despite having evidence and reason to leave, that is what I think is love.
You put it so well, Yvonne. For you, what does love mean to you?
Well, I always see his definition. That one is saying is so complicated, but I get, I get what. It makes a lot of sense.
It does. Yeah.
For me, love is just that comfort of having him or someone to do life with, and be your authentic self, and they accept you the way you are with that authenticity. Okay. I can be happy and they'll not pour water on my excitement or happiness. I can be happy about a silly thing. They'll not pour water on it because they'll appreciate that emotion together with me. I can be sad. I can be broken. I can be anxious. And I know that there's that person that I can be all those things with, and they accept it and love me and live with me with that. Okay. So it's just that feeling of having your person to do life with, and you are okay and yourself and vulnerable in all aspects. So that for me is love.
You'll see her when she consoles me when Arsenal has lost. There are those days. Arsenal have been beaten. The day was bad, but she comes. She doesn't understand anything about football.
We didn't even care for it.
I know.
But she makes a point of knowing, do I at least bado number 4? And I'm like, no, we wanted number 2.
So there's that. And she's also interested in what interests you as well. That's fantastic. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day. What, just like the question you had asked earlier, you know, what does Valentine mean to you? I'll start with you. To me, from the background I grew up with, maybe let me just put out there, she's my first love, and she's the one I married. Hey.
So,
okay.
So I didn't have a template meeting her. And Valentine's never used to mean anything. I remember, was it our first or second Valentine's together after when we were still dating? And she's there expecting me to do something. And I'm like, I've made pancakes. That minced meat.
That day.
So, can I invite you over for pancake and minced meat?
That time you're not married,
we were just dating. So I remember I was living with my younger bro Dickens. He's an interesting guy. So he's like, mitakuashia stove ntachakan nimekatakatia nyanya. So we cooked and he left. We used to live in a church compound. So he was just hovering around. Mgeni akibakisha because they're like, awi hatamaliza. So she's like, minced meat na pancakes. And to me where I came from, minced meat na pancakes, that was big. Pikia mtu mkorogo, and it was really nice. But she's livid. She doesn't want to talk to me. Miss me the pancake. And
for you, you're doing with a lot of love, isn't it?
Yes.
You just want to express what you feel for her through food.
So Dickens and some of my friends, we really feasted because she never showed up.
You told her before she came that this is what
I'll be making for you this. So for me, from where I came from, meat and chapati. Miss meat na pancake ni yo familia.
Pancake is not chapati.
Not chapati. Iko hapo hivi chini ya chapati. So a little lower than chapati. So I didn't know what it meant to her. For me, I was showing her the way I want. So I'd never learned to know what she wants, and it was that friction also opened up the discussion. Then she's like, no, me expect chocolate. I'm like, oh, chocolate is a thing. Najua, nearly expect flowers. Oh, flowers, cards. The next time I really tried. So for me, before I met her, even the first year, I didn't know what that really meant. But still, I think I can say even still growing, we've not put so much emphasis on the day.
Yeah.
Because to us,
you love each other
yeah,
every day.
love is not an event. It is a process, you know, a decision you make every day. And to us, in as much as Valentine, it's like Christmas.
Yeah.
We celebrate the birth of Jesus, but does it mean that these other days we don't acknowledge that he was God incarnate? So it's the same way with love. So we celebrate Valentine's like the other people, but to us it's much more than the event of the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yvonne, what is your love language?
It's changed a bit. I think it evolves.
It does,
yeah.
Ladies.
Initially, it was quality time, and there were two. There are normally two. Initially, it was quality time
Physical touch.
and physical touch.
Yeah.
But now it's quality time still and acts of service. You know, when you have kids,
Yeah.
you tend to want that more. So my love language is acts of service and quality time. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Quality time has always been a constant.
Fantastic.
Yes,
Fantastic. Gordon, your love language?
Luya.
If you're spoken to Luya, then that's when you feel very loved.
And she's refused to learn Luya. My love language, it's quality time.
Yeah.
Words of affirmation.
Yeah.
I think that means a lot to me. When she affirms me, when I get home and the kids are like, Dad, you know you're amazing, and they write these notes, and I think they've learned it, and after that they'll ask for something. And they always get it. I don't know, Kanya will be a series.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yvonne, do you believe that probably love, like you were saying, should be just celebrated the whole year round, you know? And what are some of those small things that probably you do together to just show each other that, yeah, I see you, I love you, I appreciate you?
Yes, that's now that we are grown, or rather that we are more matured.
Yeah.
Love is not just about Valentine's Day. It's an everyday thing. So some of the things we do is that we take time out. We really date. We date a lot.
Wow.
Yes, we go for dates, and they don't have to be extravagant. Sometimes they are, sometimes they are not.
Yeah.
But we do breakfast dates, because we don't work so far from each other. We do breakfast dates. We do random lunches.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just random. We do random lunches. We do dinners in very high-end places as well, when we just want to dress up, go out randomly. It doesn't have a day. It doesn't have to be his birthday or my birthday. We just say Friday, he'll tell me dress up. We are going out. We are going to sample a restaurant.
Okay.
We text each other a lot. How is your day? Especially if you know they were stressed about something at work. How is your day? How is the going? Can I pray for you about something? Maybe you are anxious. Are you feeling better? When we come home, sometimes one of us says, I'm so tired. Maybe you're tired as well. But when you look at him or he looks at me, I look more drained and beaten up. Someone will offer to massage you. So they are the little things we do. Those random massages, those random dates, those notes, those texts, and even notes. Sometimes you take a sticky note and you just write something to affirm him, and you leave it by the dressing mirror. So we do that a lot.
She sends me lots of prayer notes.
Yes.
She'll do prayer voice notes and on WhatsApp and just send. And I'm like, wow, it's like she knew what I was going through today.
And you find that they're timely.
Because
you're really connected.
Yes.
Wow. So what I'm reading here is communication is very important.
Yes.
To just keep those, that channel of communication open. That works for you in your relationship.
Yes, yes, it does. You see, I always also say, even when you're not talking, you're communicating. So communication can be not saying anything, and when you're not saying anything, you're communicating something to them. So if you go silent on them the entire day, you're actually communicating something. I really don't care what's going on. But even that time you're mad at each other, you want to pull her hair off, you still just send it.
As you are doing it.
Yeah. And why is coming to over with? Una sweat kichwa. So So even not saying something to them, but one thing that has been, let me just drop this in, one thing that has been really difficult for us to learn, and we are still learning, is praying together when you're mad at each other.
Yeah.
Yani amekukasirisha, but mnafaa mpray ndio mwende. They're like, sijui ni kushtaki kwa Mungu ama ni kuombe blessing. You know, that one has really, it's a challenge, because sometimes you are mad at each other, but we made a conscious decision, a covenant to each other. We will always pray together,
no matter what.
So kama ni time ya kuomba, taka tumefight a few minutes ago, we'll come to God. And there's this misconception that if you have an issue with your partner, sort it first before you go to God. Then we misinterpret that as saying that I can't pray when I'm mad. It is in that situation where you even go before God and tell God, I am mad, I'm angry, I'm coming before you. If you don't intervene, I'm going to break. Presenting even that feeling before God, He understands, and he provides a way out of it. But if you keep saying, no, we have to sort this, how long does it take to solve an issue? It might go days. So when you stop praying because you've not, and most of the time after that, you're able to come back together and say, oh, okay, that was stupid of me to say that. So in God's presence, present even your feelings of anger and emotion and joy. Because if I can go before God and I'm happy, why should I not go before God and I'm angry?
When you're angry, sad. And someone has said, please watch a comment. Someone has said, watch a cash. That's telling me. And you know, we are taking a very a short break, and just to remind you, my viewer and listener, wherever you are, that tomorrow is Valentine's Day, and we have a gift hamper for you. If only you could give, I'm going to go for the best answers. What does Valentine mean to you, and how you're going to celebrate it, you know? So give me that answer. And also remember, like in the next few minutes, we'll be watching a small clip. Just keep it there and watch it, and then after that, you tell us, has family TV or family media has any impact on you for the last 25 years that we've been on air. So let's watch the clip, and also remember to answer the question on 20316 0786 316 316 is our WhatsApp line.
Wow, family media is great. I have interacted with family media for the last 25 years, and you are celebrating, family media is celebrating 25 years. The earlier people who worked here at family media were very good friends of mine. Some of them actually we shared a house many years back. And I just want to thank family media, because family media came into this country when there was no really Christian either radio station or TV station. And those that grew up during my time, it was the thing that kept us going, as we could listen to this wonderful music. I still remember a group that was called Out of Eden those days. Powerful, powerful music. So to a large extent, family media kept us grounded and kept us just to be focused and saying that we can still have fun in a Christian way, and exposed us to wonderful Christian music. That was not the case in those yesteryears. So I just want to talk to people out there. Come out and support family media so that we can keep Jesus Christ in the airwaves, and the Lord will bless you.
To become a partner, SMS the word partner to 20316. That's 20316.
Welcome back to the show. And you know, I'm having a very good time with this couple, by the way. They're really unpacking love, and they started unpacking it from the reception. I found them taking those selfies and feeling good about themselves. You know, beautiful couple. And so keep on talking to us and texting us, and I can see already on our socials, Gordian and Yvonne, someone is saying, hello, I'm Jacqueline, and I'm going to celebrate Valentine's with one of our pastors who is getting married tomorrow. I pray and hope to be a blessing and joyful day. Valentine's Day is a day of love to our friends, family members, to appreciate the relationship you have with them. Mm-hmm. Do you agree that also family can be part of, you know, Valentine's Day?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's not just about a couple lovers, no?
No. I think it's because we've made love to be romantic.
Yeah.
It goes beyond that. It's not the idea of romantic love. It is the love we share with our parents, the love we share with our children, the love we share among siblings. So once we box it into just romantic love, we dilute it, we squeeze it out of all of its meaning. So I think it's when we say we are going to celebrate with our pastor, because maybe the pastor means something to you, mentored you, they've guided you in the way of grace. Our children and our kids always, they love making to drawings. You know, they will draw. They'll draw me. They always draw me with skinny legs. Niko na mguu za mluya, hata sijui mbona hajaijua. So they draw her with her, and they say this is mom, this is dad, and then they'll draw big hearts. It's really, it's really a blessing.
Look at that, it's what they see really.
Yeah.
Not for kids, they just absorb like sponges.
Yes.
So they draw the two of you and then put a line.
Big heart,
How beautiful is that? That's so sweet.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, having this kind of love between the two of you, Yvonne, has it made you a better person from, way back before you met him? Are you a better person now that you met him and, you have a relationship with you have a connection with him?
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
In a big, big way. Having this love has taught me so many things about myself that probably I wouldn't have learned not having him. We always say to each other that sometimes part of marriage is that God connects you with someone who will teach you something, who will help you mold some of your behaviors and become a better person. So I've learned a lot of emotional intelligence.
Okay.
I was the kind of people who tell it as it is. You'll probably hurt someone. It doesn't matter so long as it's the truth. I've learned a lot to understand the other person's emotion, not just for him, even for the people that I interact with. So I've learned a lot of emotional intelligence, and it has made me a better person in the sense that I communicate better. I sleep on things. Mimi si kitambo ilikuwa if something happens, even now, like even if you are in a meeting, I'll say, babe, can I see you for a second out here? Like I couldn't even wait for I can't contain it. But I discovered that now I sleep a lot on things, and the next day I handle it much better. It has drawn me close to God, because one thing that Godian does as a leader in our home is really steer us in the right direction spiritually a lot. He reads the Bible. We read the Bible with the kids every day at their level. There are those kid Bibles. So we read the Bible every day. We finish the whole of that Bible storybook. We start again. We read the Bible together. Sometimes you can sit for hours just discussing a concept in the Bible, disagreeing, agreeing, and it really bonds us. So I've also grown a lot spiritually, a lot, through his love and leadership and the emotional intelligence. And my life is better because I laugh a lot. I laugh. He makes me laugh.
And you've talked about emotional, that the emotional bit about it. And maybe, Godian, if I may ask you, have you had a moment that you just feel, a specific moment felt really emotionally connected to her and you're like, yes?
Yeah, I've had many. One of them I'll tell that will illustrate the change she's talking about. So there's this day, tuko kwa matatu. Then, unajua the way you give, unapea makanga, you give them makanga. Oh, let me speak it.
When you were
still young. Let me speak in English to save time. So we were still young. We've gotten into the matatu, and this makanga amekwamba na change. So I'm like, just give me the change. And then he's like, sungoje nae, hii pesa ndogo ndogo ndio zinakusumbua. I'm the kind of, okay, I'll sit back and I'll relax. She's on the other side. Ameamka na yeye. We are still young. She's mad at the conductor. Amemshika mashati. Nitakupiga wewe. Nitakutandika. I'm like, you can't do that.
Not even.
Hata wewe nitakuongezea. So mi na Makanga tumeka WhatsApp group moja, and she's mad, she's caused a scene. She's telling the Makanga, you can't disrespect my boyfriend. We were married the first year my we were dating.
I don't know,
And anataka kupiga Makanga, naye mwenye hata hizi kunja ngumi.
I've never even fought.
She can't even fold a fist.
That's a woman that's standing up for her man.
Unless kana kulogalia. So she's so mad. But over time, she's winning battles with her words that are very measured. Then there's a time a cab driver got into the estate and he threw a banana peel inje. She just stopped and told him, unachafua estate, shuka uchukue hiyo banana peel. Ingekuwa kitambo hiyo banana peel angekulishwa. So she's really, what she's talking about,
growth.
Yeah, there's growth. And so that time akinitetea, I really felt close. But there are so many times we feel close. But let me just speak the birth of our children.
Okay.
We've been together for the 3 of them from start to age. Hiyo time ya kusugua mgongo.
Yeah.
Unasugua mgongo mpaka mkono inapata blister.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Just sticking around with her, going through the pain with her, then getting into the maternity room, then being right in her face and encouraging her. Then we hear the cries of our baby.
Together.
I've always carried our baby first and then give the baby to her.
What a connection.
I can't substitute that for anything else.
Okay.
And I remember every moment that happens, I always call my mom. I'm like, Mom, you did this, and I know you did it alone. I've seen what you go through. It actually has solidified our relationship.
Okay.
That one to me, it's big, and also those moments you just get to pray together.
Okay.
Especially when you're mad. When you're happy, you can't really tell the depth of the connection. But at this time, you realize that when we go before God together and you have that place of reference together, it's amazing. Another moment is she talked about us discussing Bible concepts. She accuses me of being of analyzing.
Yeah.
We can go deep and so passionate about a doctrine. And she's asking questions, she disagrees, she brings other perspectives. By the time we realize we've taken like 3 hours talking about something, and it means a lot to me when you connect at that level. But latuya kuongea siasa, fashion, musician.
I think that's the quality time like both of you also enjoy. You know, your love language being quality time. Amazing. A lot of interactions here. Someone is saying, hello Sally, I admire the couple on the show today and I'm loving the conversation and the show. And for me, Valentine is a special day dedicated to love and romance. It's a time when people express their feelings to their loved ones through gifts, heartfelt messages, and romantic gestures. Okay, that is Moses from Lucky Summer. Thank you so much, Moses. And then there's also someone saying, good morning, Sally, enjoying the show. How does Yvonne get angry at a comedian? Umse atatuchekesha usaulikuwa umekasirika. First time having tech couple. Good show, Sally. Thank you so much. Indeed, I think you also connect at the intellectual level. Because man, oh man. Then there's another one. For me, Valentine's Day is dedicated to celebrating love in all its forms, familial, platonic, romantic, and even self-love. As love is the greatest commandment, 1 Corinthians 13:13, I spend this day sharing encouraging words, reflecting on love's deeper meaning, and reminding people in my life that they are valued by checking on them, giving gifts, and spending time together. I also see it as a great time for self-care, gratitude, and spreading kindness beyond just close relationships. And I love that bit of self-care. And Yvonne, for you being the lady, you know, and not, nowadays even not just ladies, even men, how do you set your time apart? Do you have me time for yourself? You know, you have 3 children here, young ones, you have your husband here. Do you have time for yourself, just to take care of yourself?
Yes, I do. Luckily I do, because my husband is really hands-on with the kids as well. So I'm not overburdened with the kids most of the time. And part of my me time, which I enjoy, I don't get it when he travels, but part of my me time is when we've put the boys to bed. And he's the one who puts our the girl to bed. So she takes a bit of time. Sasa hizo 30 minutes, those are mine. Every single day. So that's mostly my me time. Sometimes I travel for work. So in the evening, I get to relax a bit. Yeah, so that's how I unwind.
With all this laughter and the humor and all that, I'm sure there are times that you have conflict has to be there, like you had said at the beginning of the show.
Yes.
How do you navigate, you know, conflict and disagreements? Yeah, as a couple, a Christian couple for that matter.
I cry. But
No,
I
like for
cry.
real, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll cry. But she will not know I cried. But I think the point of putting that out there is, men, it's okay to cry.
Fantastic.
I tell our sons, you feel overwhelmed, you feel you want to cry, run, nika unakimbia kwenda washroom.
Yes.
And get into the room and cry it out.
Fantastic.
But make sure nobody knows you're crying. So I break down a lot alone, and it's okay for men to cry.
Yeah.
It's okay for men to express emotions. We come from a background where you are told that men shouldn't show weakness.
When ni mwanaume,
Mwanaume, unajua mwanaume ni kujikaza. Unajikaza alafu unakufa mapema.
Yeah.
You know, you present a lion outside, but inside you're a cockroach. You know, anything, you can crumble under the weight of anything.
Yeah.
So that letting out emotion and I've also learned to appreciate my personality. I don't lash out. I don't shout. I don't scream.
Okay.
I'll retreat. I'll let out the emotion. Then when I come back, I'm actually calm and collected. So that has helped me to let go of the steam. I play football after work. So just go run around in the field, shout around, and it lets off the steam. But the most important thing, I just like to talk to men out there. It's something that we can all do. You know, I'll say play football. You can't tell the difference between your left foot and your right foot, but you can cry. So men just go out there, hide and let it out.
Okay.
There's a time I even walked into, stand in Mombasa kwa ocean, kwa beach, mahali hakuna watu, una whale na nguvu, yani ile unalia ni kama hata mama yako akikupata shanga, huyu ni wangu. Najua, you just let it out. Letting out emotion is not weakness, it is strength. And by the time you come out of there, we will even reduce the issues where men batter their wives and kill their women, because you let your emotions out. But if you bottle them up every time, because when you mwanaume, they'll have a negative effect on you. So for me, that really works for me.
And if there's a conflict to be handled or tackled, then you come in a very sober-minded space.
Yes.
Okay. Yvonne, your own way of navigating conflict, for example.
What has helped me, before I go there, maybe to comment on what he said. I don't know why we expect men to be happy, to express these other emotions apart from brokenness and sadness. If they can laugh and be excited and jump and be happy, it's okay for them to cry.
Also break down.
But I've never seen him cry. So, I'm so happy he does, because then the emotions are not bottled up.
You didn't know that he cries? You've just known here? Then we can say it's a fast. Yeah.
I really, he sometimes he looks like he's down, but I'm like, hey, na huyo ako na nguvu. Anyway, but I'm so glad that he lets it out. I am so glad. And then coming to how I navigate conflict, what helped me was to understand his temperament, his personality, and mine, and how I can handle him during conflict.
Okay.
Before, I used to be the person who shouts. Yeah. And we couldn't do conflict because when I shout, he creates a wall. So I'm shouting and I'm hitting a wall, and we are not going anywhere. And I think that was the cause of us almost losing our marriage at some point, because we couldn't handle conflict. We didn't know how to communicate to each other. So I learned his temperament, and I learned that I can take time before I handle a situation. I can give him time to process, because he's the kind to process. And then I can wait a little bit. And also for him, he learned that he can, take time, but not a month to process, while I'm just waiting there and wondering what's going on. So it really has helped us navigate how we now handle that conflict, and then when we come together, we tackle the issue and we don't fight each other. Also, I've learned to pray immediately. I tell God, hapa I don't know what to do. Help me do the right thing and still honor him. I don't want to disrespect him in the process. So I've learned to pray about it even when I'm hurt and I'm bleeding. Yeah, so that. And also understanding his love language. Kitambo, I didn't understand what affirmation is for a grown man. I grew up being affirmed a lot. So I was like, why should I be telling a guy, oh, you did so great? I mean, he should know that he did great and that's it. And then I learned somewhere, I was told by someone that the reason I'm finding it hard to affirm him is that it's not my love language. I want to give him my love language instead of giving him his love language. So that has also helped me navigate even in conflict. Just understanding that when I don't affirm him when he expected it, sometimes it creates some sort of feeling, you know, it's like, I will you.
Context, she's a last born, I'm a first born, so you see where the problem is. Yeye ndio alikuwa anapendwa na kila mtu, alafu mimi na ndio kila mtu alikuwa anitegemea. So
actually that plays a role, by the way.
It
does. And you find sometimes two lastborns getting married. Both of them want attention. Me nimezoea kuwa pampered, and even me. So you are stonewalling there.
Yes.
So it actually plays a big role. Thank you for mentioning that. It is important. Are the small things in love? Do those small things matter, or the big ones that we do? You want to outdo even a wedding. You just want to do something. Are those small things also important in marriage?
In fact, the other day we were joking and we were saying, if we were to do a wedding now, with what we know, we would even do a very small wedding, because the big things doing. One thing with focusing so much on the big things, you miss out enjoying the smaller things. So for me, personally, I think the joy that comes from marriage is compounded by the small things that we do for each other each day. The small things that we are for each other every day. A small thing like me coming home, I find she's replaced all my vests. And there's that one vest that I really liked, imeandikwa hapo nyuma Chicago Bulls. But here me decide hii ya kwenda nayo kwa office. Ukivaa shati kama una make presentation, mtu anaona kile kingombe kia pembe. So she's changed my vest, she's changed my boxers, and she's like, by the way, wanaume hizo hata ile iko na shimo wacha tu ibadilishwe. She's changed my socks, those very small things. I really appreciate. She doesn't like ironing, but siku moja nitapata ameniironia shati, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is really big. It's small.
It's a sacrifice.
She'll not do it as good as I do it, but she's realized that it can save me a minute so that I can rush somewhere. So it's the small things. The big things come once in a while. There you say Valentine's Day is one big day. So we can't be missing out the small things while waiting for the big event. We can enjoy the process so that when the event comes, it's part of the process.
Because I'm looking at a puzzle. What makes it big? The small pieces, isn't it? Lovely. Okay, now forgiveness, because there's conflict, then of course thereafter there's forgiveness, then that's when you pray and all that. How do you have forgiveness after conflict, and you ensure that resentment does not linger on? Because the people can say enemy kusame, especially those in infidelity and stuff, but when you look at that person again, it
it comes back.
How can you forgive without, any one of you can answer, without that resentment lingering on?
Maybe I'll allow him to elaborate, but for me, my personality is, once I get to talk about it, or we get to talk about it, it's gone. For me, that's how it goes. But once we get to talk about it, but before, if we brush it under the carpet, it'll linger. But also, when you love God so much, He shows you how to love your partner. He's the one who shows you how to love. He shows you how to forgive. He shows you how to tolerate. Because when you love God so much and see how much He forgives you, the Holy Spirit convicts you. So He shows you how to forgive, how to love, how to be kind and all that. So prayer does play a role. But for me, I believe that when we talk it out, I communicated the same. Like for me to let go, I really know how to express my feelings. I was hurt. When you did this, I was hurt. And I'm lucky that he apologizes when he's wrong.
Yeah.
But when he feels like he wasn't wrong, hapo utangoja.
Okay,
Say, I acknowledge your feelings, but really, this is really what happened. Yeah, this is really what happened. And we've learned to live with that.
You know, I'm admiring what people are also seeing, what I'm also seeing here. Good morning, Sally. Enjoying the show. You are doing a great job. Thank you so much. And that there is a lovely couple, Patty. You are lovely. You're lovely people.
Thank you.
Thank
Very
you,
quickly,
Patty.
probably, because we are imagine we're about to wrap up the show. But I may want to talk about loss, because loss could be anything. Loss of a job, loss of a parent. How has it been like, just, you know, with your loved one? She's going through a loss, and probably in less than a minute,
Yes.
very, very briefly.
Yes.
How have you helped her to navigate a loss, or even her helping you?
Okay. So we've talked about us being there for our babies
Yes.
since day one, that since before the pregnancy, when it happens until when the baby is born.
Yeah.
And we've been there for all of us. So there's this loss that hit us sometimes back. Which year was that? 2015?
No, 2016, yeah.
2016, we lost a pregnancy.
Okay.
And it was devastating for her, and for me, and twice for her. And what kept us close is we maintained the closeness that we had together. Just understanding her part of what she's feeling, the physical pain, the emotional pain, the spiritual pain. It came to a point where you see the way we are talking about praying. Kuna hiyo time hata prayer itoki. Unaenda mbele ya Mungu, naambia Mungu nimekuja, but sina kitu ya kusema. You know, we stuck to each other. We actually had to remind each other that we are in this together, and that helped us a lot. So the maintaining the closeness, when time came that we could now be able to pray, we continued to pray. But there's that time, because most of the time we make it look like, you know, prayer. But sometimes prayer is not even, you can't even do it. And that's why scripture says, for we do not know how to pray, but the Spirit himself helps us even in praying. So at that time, we navigated that, and we got, did we get completely over it? No, we still have what ifs. What if the baby was born? What would they have been like?
So you come out as a strong team together.
Yes. But I'm not saying that prayer doesn't work. I'm saying there are times that you'll not be able to pray.
Absolutely.
Yes. Let it not be said that I'll say try to pray. There are times you can't even say a prayer. Yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yvonne, closing remark. Time is up. Just advice for a couple out there tomorrow, Valentine. 30 seconds.
What I'd tell them is that if you want to celebrate Valentine, it's not bad to celebrate Valentine. But if you're a couple, love each other every day. Be intentional about it. Choose it. Choose to love.
Choose to love.
Choose to love.
Choose to love. Be intentional about it. That is how we wrap up our today's show on Unpacking Love with this amazing, beautiful couple. Personally, I've learned so much. The insights, you know, the encouragement has been amazing. And thank you so much also for your time. The engagements have been, you know, awesome. We really appreciate the comments, the compliments to the couple, to the show. Tunasema asante sana. And remember, the questions, we'll be sampling all that, and we'll be reaching out to you just to let you know if you're one of our lucky winners for a hamper tomorrow on Valentine's Day. Our love language is gifting. That's also, we're gifting. So that is our love language. We want to thank you and appreciate you. And also a very important group of people, our partners, people who've been working with us this journey for the last 25 years, just to ensure that we keep Jesus on the airwaves. Remember that it is through their support that we're able to bring you this kind of content, very clean content that you don't find anywhere, just here on Family Media. So we want to appreciate them. And if you feel you want to be part of this community, then just send the word partner to 316 or 0786 316 316. Send the word partner. And if you feel the Lord has blessed you in one way or the other, you can send in your contribution from 1,000 up. There's a message on your screen, and you can do that just to bless someone else, and it will go a long way in just spreading the word of the Lord and keeping Jesus on the air. So God bless you and keep you until we see you again next week on Family Matters, where we'll be bringing you much more amazing content on parenting, financial clinic, and also relationship clinic like this. God bless you and keep you, and happy Valentine's in advance. Happy Valentine's, guys.